Yo, what's up everyone? Today is training day number 12 at New Hope Gymnastics. This is like another home for me. I've eaten shit here so many times that I have a reputation now. Face planted, my first one and knocked out here. That was an epic one. That was my first ever blackout. But this is like the first place I started training when I got into cheer. Learned most of my flips here. Landed my first double backflip here. I got to coach here for about a year, and that's when I coach the little kids. We call it academy class. My purpose for that class, I wanted to teach the kids super basic fundamentals, how to move, things like how to roll, crawl, jump, and that's actually very important skills to develop as a child, and especially young athletes. Because we all know when we skip steps in the foundation, it develops bad movement patterns. That's why I incorporated these basic general motor skills, we call it, into their gymnastics training, and it was fun. But more importantly than that, it was to train these kids to build confidence. And you'd be surprised. Some kids are just natural, like they're crazy little kids. And then some kids, like, they've never trained anything before, but they just don't believe in themselves. And I would tell them, you haven't even tried before. Why are you doubting yourself already? Right? You can't doubt yourself if you haven't even given yourself the chance to try it, especially when you're young, because as you grow older, people don't teach you that. You just learn it the hard way. So that was fun. Today, training, I hit 7 flares on the first try, and then it just sucked from there. But I do feel like losing weight has improved, and it's gonna just keep on improving. My hips don't hurt as bad this time, and then I just did some backflips just to get back into things. Next week, we're gonna go harder. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Just wanted to let you know I'll be making these videos very often, and you can stay updated by subscribing right there. And also, I made something special. You can check it out in the link below. Depending on where you're watching it, it could be the newsletter for Bootstrap Body, or it's gonna be steps for you to get started writing your own workout plans and your own meal plans right away. Today is training day number 13. I'm still on my deload week, so that means I'm not doing too many sets and I'm not going that heavy either. I worked up to 185, did 3 sets of 5 with that as my work sets, and then went back down to 135, did 3 sets of 10 as a superset, which means I did 3 exercises back to back. It could also be 4 or 5. It's usually 2 or 3 for like power lifters and bodybuilders. I superset bench press with a body weight row and also push-ups, good old push-ups. Then after that, I did another superset of assisted pull-ups, assisted handstand push-ups, and oh yeah, seated rows. You'll see that all these movements, all these pressing movements, which train the chest and the tricep and the front shoulders, are very similar, and also all these pulling or rowing movements, which train the back and the biceps, are also very similar as well, because that's how the body works. When you train upper body, it's gonna be some kind of pushing motion or some kind of pulling motion, and it's gonna be horizontally in front of you and behind you, or vertically above you and under you. That's as simple as it gets. And to train all the muscles, you just kind of change up the angles, which is why you see me using very little equipment, but just changing the body shapes and positioning around. And that's something we get really good with as gymnasts or dancers. We learn how to kind of shift our body weight and change the levers of the body so that we're involving different areas. I have a question on Instagram. It's actually the question that I already answered. What are the best meals for cutting? It's all relative to what you're already doing. That's usually done by eating the same amount of protein or even a little bit more, because protein still builds muscle and it retains muscle as you're losing weight. What we usually do is eat less carbs or fats or both. The thing is, you don't want to eat that much less, just barely enough. You want to lose weight eating as much as you can because food is good. So there's so many different meals you can make, especially ones with lean meat like chicken or fish, or even lean cuts of meat and beef. What's most important is you actually enjoy the meal, so you can keep eating that amount so that you continue to control your weight and like slowly, progressively drop the weight. So going back to the whole relative thing, sometimes it's just changing your eating style. So instead of like eating out, for example, I used to eat out a lot, and when someone else is making the food instead of yourself, we don't really know how much oil or whatever they're using to prepare that food. So when you make your own food, you would be in control of the process and how much oil or even any oil you use. And also you control how much protein you put into a meal. Restaurants and even fast food joints are businesses, and they make food taste good through the fats and carbs to keep you as a customer coming back. Whereas the protein, it's great, but it's the most premium in their inventory, so they just give you enough. Let's go! This is the last stretch of this long ass story reply. So that usually means if you're eating out, you're gonna be eating relatively more fats and carbs and relatively less protein, and just having a lifestyle shift as making more of your own meals would mean you're eating more protein and less of the other two. Here's day 14 of training. I just went up to 3 plates and did 3 sets of 5 as my last day of the deload week. And then I did some high pulls, finishing in a power shrug. I didn't go all the way up. It's an easier version of a clean, and this is the first weightlifting inspired movement you'll see me do for my hops. I finished with some farmer's walks, and that's just tensing up the butt and the abs and taking small controlled steps, gripping as tight as I can. Hey everyone, I finished training. I want to share something special with you. This is a Keylab 88 from Arturia. It's my first MIDI keyboard and, well, my first anything music besides buying like the microphone and connecting that to my laptop. I'm very excited. I am completely new to music, but we gotta start somewhere, and I'm gonna start big with this. So what this does, from what I know so far, is, well, it's a piano. And seems like piano is the most universal instrument to start learning music. Like I said, I want to make sick ass beats that people like you and me rage to and shit. And after several days of research, I've decided this is the best investment I can make. This is why I've been eating at home, trying not to eat out. It's an investment, and it's a lot for my budget, but I'll probably be using it every day. Just like this camera that I use multiple hours a day, just like my laptop that I spent, like, for example, this entire week just editing. I found that making good investments in devices, technology, education, things that will last you a long time is just very good, because like when you buy shitty equipment that just breaks down or is just very slow, it's like just a fucking hassle. Like, you're gonna use it every day and you're going to develop so much growth from it and just change things for yourself. So make the best investments in high quality things that matter in yourself and in your education, in your growth. And for me, this is making music. I'm so excited. I'm very happy. And it's gonna be a long process. Like I said, I'm completely new to music, but I'm gonna have fun And I think that's the most important thing. It's having fun. And what better way to have fun than to invest in my creativity and my creative outlet. So yeah, I guess you'll be hearing some sick beats from me in a few years. Right now, I'm just gonna learn how to play piano, and like, yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like, as we grow older and move from, say, the school life into the professional life, I call it the real life, like from school to real life, we start really specializing in things because it's efficient to specialize in a skill set and a field. And that just makes work easier, and that just kind of moves us up in the ranks in like the industry. But one thing that really hurts about specialization is it can also be very monotonous, and we start becoming very, very tunnel vision towards like one skill and one dimension. That's why I'm all about learning, continuing to learn, even if it's like not in the same avenue, especially not in the same avenue. Like, I've spent so much time learning about exercise science and biomechanics, physiology, stuff like that, that after a certain point it's like boring, you know? I want to do more than just show people how to work out. I want to inspire people. That's why I've invested so much time into learning how to market, how to sell, how to just present myself in front of a camera and speak to audiences, to masses, to students, to friends, and so on. Yeah, it's great to grow multi-dimensional growth. And music, like, even though I haven't done music, like made music before, besides like freaking edit my own music videos, well, I guess you can say I've done a good amount so far for 1 year. I've always been able to like just let go of everything and just like go fucking nuts when I jam out sick music in my car. And I want to add to that community. I want to add to that good feeling of just like forgetting everything and just listening to good music, whether you're training, studying, eating. Have you ever like eaten while you headbanged? Yeah. So I want to give others that feeling too. And like I said, this is just for fun right now. I don't know how long or if I'll ever make money from making music, but I've always had fun doing what I've done so far with the music, and I want to move to the next step, and that's gonna be not just rewriting lyrics or even just writing my own lyrics, but it's also to make my own beats to go with those lyrics. Like, just think how fucking nuts it'll be when I can tell my story with my own beats and like fucking rage and shit. So yeah, let's say cheers to a new adventure for me, and just cheers to anyone taking on something new, because it's intimidating. I know, because I'm literally figuring things out as I go right now in everything I do. Like the workouts, I understand that stuff, and yeah, but this challenges me, and it also allows me to take a step back and put myself back into like that early stage of learning something new and understanding how intimidating it can be, how confusing it can be, with so many things to look at now online. And yeah, learning something new for me will allow me to teach others, because it's been a very long time since I've completely gone outside my comfort zone. You know how I talked about that whole specialization thing? The more you specialize in one skill, and you should, everyone should develop skills, the more, what was I gonna say? Damn it, I was on a roll. The more specialized you are in a skill, the more comfortable you are. and we might forget what it's like to start out for the first time, to like even have some worry about what others think about what we make. You know, like my workouts now, how I look, like I don't give a shit about what people think as long as it's helping them positively. But like when I make those music videos, I spend so much extra time on it because it's like I want to make it good, and I don't want to just put shitty stuff out there. Even these videos, you know, like I've spent some time to learn how to film, to edit, and I don't want to make like shitty stuff. So I know what it's like to start out something new and like not just judge yourself and be very critical about it, but also have that nagging kind of thought in the back of your mind about what others think. So yeah, let's get it. Before we move on to the next week, I just want to let you know that in addition to showing you how I'm investing in myself and growing from the challenges, I want to create opportunities for everyone to invest in themselves as well, for you to invest in yourself. And you can do that by checking out that link below. Depending on when you're watching this, it could be the newsletter for Bootstrap Body, so you can stay updated. Otherwise, it's gonna be steps for you to start making your own workout plans and your own meal plans as soon as you can.